we are again, radio entrepreneurs streaming stories of leadership, entrepreneurship in this economy. And I just love doing this. I had been away for a couple of weeks and I'd forgotten how much I enjoyed meeting stars. Today, I'm not actually meeting somebody. I'm reconnecting with someone I've known for many years. But before that, let's remind everybody who my co-host is. It's the one and only Evan Macedo. That means this is a FEI segment. And he is VP of Finance and Operations at Sapers. Wallack, welcome back, Evan.
Thank you, Jeffrey. It is always a pleasure to be here, and we have a very exciting guest today.
Yes, we do. As I said, I go back into the Wayback Machine of my career, and we pull out of our hats Steve Snyder, partner at Entrepreneurship and Residence at Gesmer Updegrove. Welcome, Steve.
Thanks so much. It's a treat to join you.
Welcome, and it's nice to see you again. And why don't we start with the most easiest softball question? Why don't you tell us about your firm and what you do for it?
That is a really easy question. It's because it's one that I love to talk about. Gesmer's been around for a while, but we've been very consistent in our practice. For many, many, many years, we have worked with early stage, rapidly growing, scaling technology companies, typically through their life cycle. So we meet them when they are at a very early stage and then work with them through their life cycle, through financings and very often through acquisition. Mostly software, hardware, digital media, social media, everything internet, lots of fintech, edtech, healthcare, IT, very little pharma or biotech or life science, but that's our focus. We're a full service law firm for the life cycle of tech. My role is very different because while I did practice law for many years, 12 years, I decided that wasn't my passion. My passion has always been growing companies. And so I ran a couple of software companies and a healthcare service firm. I've been here at Gesmer for just turned 15 years. And my focus is not practicing law, thank goodness, but working with entrepreneurs to help them with their business challenges, which are typically related to driving revenue, increasing profitability, building teams, and helping them to be financed. So that's what I do. The best part of my work is I don't bill my time, I'm free. So it's not work, it's just fun.
Well, I have told you, and I don't think it's a big secret that you're one of the more respected people in my career that I've come across. I love the work that you're doing. I love the model you're in as well. It's not my model. I work for, and I run a management consulting firm. You work at a law firm, but I love what you do. And I think it's very valuable. And I think a lot of people, a lot of law firms, I'm going to rephrase that. I think what Gesmer does was unique to Gesmer when you started. I think a lot of people have tried to imitate you, but there are few who are like you. And I really wonder why that's the case, because I really think you've carved out a niche that's really quite special.
I can't respond to what other law firms do or don't do. I really don't think about other law firms. What makes my time so much fun, and the reason I'm so passionate about it, is helping entrepreneurs with business challenges. There are way too many lawyers that think they are the dog that wagged the business tail. I can tell you, and you know, this is all about the business dog wagging the legal tail or the accounting tail or the banking tail. This is about business first. And to be able to work with entrepreneurs on their business challenges and help them succeed, there's nothing more fulfilling than that.
You know, putting the value statement back in the hands of the client, I think really is what you're talking about. And I understand strategy. Evan, you have a question? I know you've been patiently waiting for me to stop talking.
Oh, yeah. So you were just talking about different entrepreneurs that you work with. You know, I know from going to all these networking events in Boston and being around Greentown Labs, there's a whole slew of different types of entrepreneurs. You have some that have a clear background in what they're doing, and you know, this isn't necessarily their first rodeo. You also have the first time entrepreneurs. And I just wanted to kind of ask you, what types of entrepreneurs are the right fit to work with you, and how are you best helping them out?
It's a great question. Thanks, Evan. The entrepreneurs that I love to work with are their personality traits are ones I think that lead to greater success. So to specifically answer your question, I love to work with entrepreneurs who are smart. Everybody's smart, so I put that aside. I love working with entrepreneurs that are thoughtful, considerate, passionate about what they're doing, clearly understand their strengths, and also understand those areas where they aren't as strong, and want to build a team around them to supplement or complement them, as opposed to an entrepreneur that, again, is really smart, but thinks that they really don't need anyone else around them because they have all the bases covered. That's typically not an entrepreneur that's going to succeed. So
Steve, you make me think about two things as you talk. You make me think about self-awareness and culture. And that's my interpretation of what you said. People who are more self-aware leaders and are interested in building the proper culture for success. It's not about them.
one of the things that I wanted to talk about in a minute or two was the fact that of the many hundreds of companies that I've worked with, most of them have a common thread, which is a need for financing. And financing sources invest in teams. I can't think of a single time where a financing source has invested in a single person. That's not it. It's all about teams. So I'm getting ahead of myself, but that's sort of my response to you.
So as you're, advising your entrepreneurs to kind of build the team, one is legal, and I know you can help with that, but what are some other areas that you're looking at to make sure they're building the best team possible so they can get their financing?
I think of inside teams and outside teams. For an inside team, I think about typically hopefully there's a serial entrepreneur. If not serial, if it's a first-time entrepreneur, then a team member that's critically important would be a serial revenue driver. I don't use the term VP of marketing or VP of sales. I think about revenue drivers, however that's defined. And it would be a person that has taken a company from startup to liquidity event at least once, preferably more. And so this revenue driver should have direct or indirect experience in the particular market or business focus that the hypothetical company is in. At least a fractional CFO, someone that has worked with early stage companies, has helped to validate a business model, revenue model, has helped put together assumptions and projections. That's really important. And then a really solid technical person. So those are the areas for the inside team that I always recommend. And then the outside team, it's really simple. 2 or 3 advisors, preferably that serial CEO, a serial revenue driver, and a third person would be someone that knows the specific market that you're going after. So inside team, outside team to start. And that increases the probability of success as companies are looking for money.
I've been around business a long time, and you just coined a phrase that I love, and I had never heard before: serial revenue driver. SRD.
I may trademark that when I walk out my door.
I think, that if you want to find a business successful, you'll find an SRD.
That's what financing sources look for. Financing sources think about, am I going to get the return on investment that I need? And a way to get them to yes is to have a terrific team that includes that serial revenue driver.
just to let you know how much Evan and I believe in that. Evan and I talk every 2 weeks at least. And I think all our conversations are about serial revenue drivers. And it's probably something he and I are going to talk about offline even more so because of you. Because you've given us a label for what we're trying to, what we talk about all the time. Because it is the lifeblood of every business. Very good.
It is a critical part of success.
And Steve, as we look forward to, we're coming up on 2024 soon. Can't believe 2023 is already getting near the end of the year here. As you're looking to help entrepreneurs next year, is there any sort of common themes other than financing that you're seeing, where certain industries are, strong and steady, or any other kind of trends that are good for our listeners to hear?
So in 2024, I think we'll continue to see a trend of more and more AI companies, but fintech remains super strong, as does healthcare, some edtech. But for me, it's there's just a steady stream across the board. Financings were a bit more difficult this year, or took a bit longer this year than the past couple. But I see 2024 jumping right back, springing back to the past couple of years. Entrepreneurs with great ideas, great markets, great teams will get financed, no question. So I'm really excited about 2024.
Well, that's pretty exciting. From your mouth to God's ears, as they say. I hope that you have a great crystal ball. Steve, if someone's looking to learn more about you and the firm, how would they do that? How do they contact you?
They can go to our LinkedIn page at gesmer.com. They can look up my LinkedIn background. I'm right there. They can feel free to email me at steve.snyder, SNYDER, at gesmer.com. I'm pretty easy to find, and I would love to speak with really passionate entrepreneurs.
Great. Co-host Evan, how do people find you?
Very easy, Jeffrey. You can go to sapers-wallack.com and click on the team page. You'll see my my image up there with my bio. You can also find me on LinkedIn, Evan Macedo up there. So if you're trying to if you want to connect, please come reach out to me. I'd love to have a conversation.
Great.
Jeffrey, may I add one thing?
Yes, sir.
We're talking about teams earlier and advisors, and I have to tell you that Evan has one of the greatest networks in the Boston and New England area that I have ever seen. So
wow.
If people want to find a great advisor, someone that really wants to help with business challenges, contact Evan.
Evan, look, I hope you're blushing. That is but I would agree, and I want to remind everyone that's a great way to end this segment. This is Radio Entrepreneurs.